Moving on to number 4, digital front door presentation by George Barlow. Welcome, George.
Mayor, council members, glad to be here tonight. My name is George Barlow. I'm an administrative analyst here at the city. And tonight I'm presenting the digital front door report. Digital front door. So a lot of questions come up each time that phrase is mentioned. So hopefully I explain it well tonight. But one of the things that you see before you is actually a product of the digital front door. I don't know if you've noticed in the last year, but the presentations that we actually give as staff, the PowerPoints that are used are developed for a purpose. That it really gives that marketing, that branding of our city, utilizing these types of PowerPoints are specifically designed for staff. Digital front door committee are these members. We have a member from each department. Terrell Locke was actually the founder of the digital front door committee a few years back. So we have a well-rounded committee. We meet once a month, the last Thursday of the month during lunch hour. Our mission, really, you can read our mission, but what I would really like to point out is that the digital front door, our mission is to enhance the digital presence in our community. But more so is really to improve our interaction with communication with our citizens. And communication is really the main fact and the main key. This word may seem Greek to you. That's because it is Greek. So, epikoinono is really communication in Greek. Sometimes when we communicate, it can seem like Greek because it may not be in the right form. It may not be in the right fashion. And we want to make sure that we are speaking the language of our community when we do send out messages, whether it be digitally or in an ever-changing culture that we have in our digital age, whether it be our website, Facebook, social media. It is ever-changing. And the question always is, with our committee, are we changing with that culture? Our main plan is really to communicate to our citizens with what is happening in the city. The city, whether it be economically, the growth that is occurring, or services that we provide as a city. YC311 is a great digital front door effort in regards of communication back and forth from citizens to the city. One effort was recently an ordinance was passed on shopping carts. YC311 really brings out that messaging going from citizens to the city, directly to that department. And in the ordinance case, we've seen a 60% reduction in reports of abandoned shopping carts. The other thing that we plan on doing is more surveys, really getting the pulse of citizens, understanding feedback that we receive, but more so really gauging what we can do as a city in regards to that feedback. Sometimes we miscommunicate. When we do miscommunicate, it's not good. And we get sad. Our citizens get sad and sometimes maybe even angry just because of a miscommunication. And one thing it proves is that we're humans. And we can correct that quickly by communicating in the correct fashion so that when we do communicate digitally, it really creates that fun, it creates that happiness, and also goes across that digital plane in our community. So these front doors right here, we actually receive about 800 customers average per day through these doors. This front door, this is one of our digital front doors, which is our website, has attachments to that website, which is our police website and our fire website. We actually, through Google Analytics, average where our digital front door and how it's actually used. Average 2,800 pages viewed per day and about 20% returning users. So about 2,200 new users per day. As you can see here, our homepage is the #1 hit. But actually, if you go down that list of the 10 top pages our citizens view, it really comes out to be animals and kids. So recreation is a big item, and our animal services is another big item. We see police department in there at #5. And what's amazing, this is Google Analytics from January to April 15th, is contact us. It really has never been a top 5, but in the last 4 months, it has been a top 5. So we take a look at these pages and make sure that the correct content is on these pages and the messaging is clear. This is where our users are coming from in regards of those placements of where they actually identify that URL. So we can see most users are in the city of Yuba City. And then we see Sacramento, San Francisco, San Jose, so on. Those could be users that actually are working outside the area, but still tracking our website or understanding what's going on in the city by hitting our website. And it could also be people that are coming into Yuba City and really seeking additional information. Another digital door is Facebook. In 2018, January, we had 15,000 followers. As of January 15th, we have 17,000 followers. So again, our reach in regards of how many people that we're actually reaching digitally is huge. It's a cause for celebration. And the reason why is if we look in the last 2 years, we've actually doubled our followers. 2 years ago, it was right around 8,000 followers. And today we're sitting at 17,000 followers, which means each post is critical. We just had a bear sighting. So we posted the information that our police department provided. And actually, we've received over 55,000 views of this post. 2 days or a day after this, a video was posted of the bear running down the street. And it's actually received 75,000 views. So over 1,000 shares, which really, again, produces a lot of reach. So again, we want to be newsworthy in our posts. We want to give our citizens information in the dialogue that we have. This was a 5th Street Bridge post on DWR releasing out of the Oroville Dam. And it received 18,000 reach. We also want to give information. This was a post about our facility rentals. What do we provide here at the city? And the services that we provide. Our recent announcement of text to 911 system and services, which we posted, received over 2,800 views. This was actually a little tutorial video that we put out on social media. So Instagram is another digital door that we have. As of April 15th, we have over 2,400 followers. Our main impressions through Instagram have really been as you see here, police and fire. I think there's a couple council members in there too. Other digital doors that we have. Twitter, 1,943 followers. Every post that we post on Facebook is also posted onto Twitter automatically. Our Y Connect newsletter. It's a monthly newsletter that we send out. Over 14,200 subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, you can see that on our homepage. Click the e-news button and sign up for our newsletter. YouTube is another digital door. In 2018, the team produced over 15 videos. That's not including the council minutes that are produced after the council meeting. So we have a full version of the council meeting being produced right now. Then that gets produced into what we call the council minute, which is just 1 minute of highlights of the council meeting. And we produced 15 videos. And we're an award-winning team. So being an award-winning team, last month I submitted to California Public Information Officers Association for an award on our Bike to Work month. Our Bike to Work month is next month. Part of this was actually for last year's, our website, and a short little video that was done. And I'll show you that video. Hi. So as you can see, sometimes the information that we send out is actually fun. It's having fun. Our parks department had fun riding their bikes out of the council chambers. But the award really came from communicators across California voted an award for our website and that video. Challenges are that we only meet once a month. We do communicate through Microsoft Teams during the month on various projects that continue, but we meet once a month. The challenge is that we all have other jobs. Communication isn't the total job, but it is definitely a large part of our jobs. The key is, again, communication. How do we communicate, and are we communicating correctly? Another challenge is are we diverse in every message that we send out? Do we look at our citizen population and commute in the same frames that our citizens understand? It's a plan. It's a way that we want to live and do as we communicate as communicators. The narrative is crucial because we don't want to seem insensitive when we do post or we put things up on our website. We want to make sure it's pertinent and that we are creating emotions through the branding, but also it's not insensitive. And the other thing is that we need to make sure that we're always telling the full story. So the full story always comes up when we give the full message. And sometimes it's very challenging and hard to do that unless we're committed in the right environment, putting out those messages that we all care about so that our citizens can hear us and we can hear our citizens. Any questions?
George, thank you. And it's a great service that you're providing to try to get the message out of the city using the technology, and that's a very effective way these days too. So I really appreciate that. One of the slides, and I don't remember which one it was, you said one of the top hits was "Contact Us." When they're hitting or they're selecting "Contact Us," what are they? Any insights as to what they are trying to contact us for?
Unfortunately, we can't tell that by the analytics. We can only tell that they actually hit that page. So again, based on the Contact Us page, it does have all the list of department phone numbers. So it could be any of those phone numbers they're reaching.
Okay, thank you. Again, good job.
Thank you.
Through the mayor.
Yep.
George, to the entire team, great job. It's very much noticeable how the digital front door has evolved, especially in the last year. A lot more content going out, and that's what we want to our residents so they know what's going on in their city. That's how we're able to maintain transparency and get people involved in our community. I want to express my opinion to have George do all the presentations because I specifically want to go watch that movie now again with my kids. I think the presentations would be much more enjoyable if you did them all. And a follow up on Councilmember Boomgarden's question with the analytics. I'm very familiar because we use them in our firm. You can tell by driving down a little bit further how much of that is coming from bots. And of that, how much is coming from bots or trollers versus, real people hitting? Because typically the homepage being that much of a disparity, a lot of that is going to be bots. Do you have that information by chance to know, what we're doing there and how are we using the SEOs to optimize our presence out there? Because the ever-changing content and the relevancy and the links, all of that helps with the SEO optimization to get us in those prime locations. Can you expand on that just a little bit?
I can a little bit. Actually, I'd be happy to talk to you offline with this as well because it is a more elongated answer. But the quick of it is the numbers that you're actually seeing here are divided. What's great about Google Analytics today is that, and what the councilman is talking about in regards of bots is that you have organizations that will actually just send out hits. So what they're trying to do is infiltrate and get into a particular system, whether it be Facebook or your website, to see what can their computer system do to make it simple. The great thing about Google Analytics is that you can decipher that so that you understand what was a computer hit or what was a natural URL hit, okay? And what I have here is all natural URL hits.
Through the mayor. I really enjoyed the presentation. I like your graphs, everything that you put together, the team, all of you that you worked on it. So with the challenges, how is it that I can help you? That you're saying, this committee comes together and you're digitally doing the work, or on Microsoft Suite or something. How is it that I can help you then?
Great question. Like I mentioned, we all have our day job per se, if I could put it that way. And Our concentration on communication, to me, as a communicator, is very crucial. As a council, for goals and priorities, we want to make sure that we're messaging those goals and priorities to our citizens so that we're really engaging and that we can hear good feedback from citizens so that it can really give you the answers that you need for your constituents. Again, we really don't have the time consideration because we don't have a full-time staff that is communicators.
Okay.
Our city of 68,000, again, other organizations in Capio, our city size, they do have a staff. So Digital Front Door, we do a fantastic job in how we do it. We're very conservative in regards of how we produce things, what we put out there, and we're doing it again in those time frames that we can. What's crucial is like the bear story. It got out as soon as it happened. Sometimes if we miss those stories, those news stories that are critical to give our citizens that information, we might miss it just because we're not there full time.
We don't have a full-time designated person. Is that what I'm hearing you say, George, or am I adding that?
Yes. So saying if we had a full-time staff, if we had a communications team, or even just one person that was full-time, it would be a great way that we can then add that to what the Digital Front Door is doing, so that really across departments, because as I showed you here, there is an individual from each department.
Right.
And really that coordination across departments could happen then.
Right. And thank you for saying that. I've seen that. I utilize a lot of digital because that's how I get my news a lot, right? And so seeing postings from police, sometimes recreation. So it kind of, people are posting different things. So sometimes I have a hard time even keeping track of what just got posted or where can I find that piece of information, because I want to share it with someone that I had a conversation about. And so I hear your message, and thank you for giving me some good understanding of possibly how I can be a better councilwoman to help with what is needed in the city.
Sure. And one other way is really promoting the Digital Front Door and what we do and the signups. So like I said, the newsletter, those type of things that we do have, following our Facebook and encouraging citizens to follow our Facebook. Those type of things help as well.
Thank you. Very well done.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to say thank you, George, for you and your staff for everything you do. Thanks again.
Sure.
Hey, George, thank you very much. Keep up the good work. I think it goes for all of us. If there's ever anything we can do to help you out, please don't hesitate to let us know.
Yeah, and I apologize. I left Darren off the Digital Front Door list, so I apologize, Darren.
Down there.